I got a question for you today. Is free speech really free? Let's try again. Is free speech on every platform allowed? I don't think so. It hasn't been for me. If you're getting paid for what you say, is that free speech or is that paid speech? Just a question, I know a lot of people get paid to talk. I mean, I don't. I get paid to shut up and listen. But leave me your comments in the comment section below. This video is kind of going off emotion of what's been going on for the last week and a half. The political environment is really heated. People are complaining about free speech and losing their jobs because of what they said. And like the most recent big one was Jimmy Kimmel lost his job but he wasn't, that's not free speech, that's being paid to speak. And if you're being paid to speak and you're saying false things, that doesn't qualify as free speech, does it? That's paid speech, right? I mean, that's how I see it. I don't know. Free speech is a God-given right where in the public square we can say whatever we want. We can throw whatever insults, whatever disgust, whatever we don't like, we're allowed to voice that. And that is free speech. You don't go to prison for saying it. Now, you might get excused from civil society. It may be something that they say, you don't represent my company or my values or my small business values, or you don't represent the school's values or the college's values or the government's values. You don't represent that when you're saying these things, and they may let you go for it. And that has absolutely nothing to do with free speech. That has to do with code of conduct. And we can all take a note off that one. But free speech and being paid to speak are two different things, I think. Like getting kicked off the air, that's too bad, I guess. Not really. I don't have a TV in my house, so I don't see that kind of stuff. I see it on YouTube, and that's about it. But if you're being paid to speak and you're saying things that go against the mainstream, well, not even the mainstream, because I understand, like for the last decade, the left has never been reprimanded for anything they've said or anything they've done. Peaceful protests where they're burning down the country and everything's all good, summer of love, and they're killing people, and it's insanity to most of us. Most of us see it as being absolutely insane. But you had free speech, but you also had people on the news and stuff that were being paid to lie to you. And they still are. They're paid to lie to you. All of them. It doesn't matter left, right, middle. Everybody's... If they're being paid to talk to you, they're being paid to push a narrative. Period. And a lot of us have fallen for it. I mean, a lot of you all have fallen for it. The left especially. The left, they've resorted to, because free speech is insulting, or if somebody goes to a college and talks, you have to shoot them to stop what they're saying because the truth hurts. But then you get Jimmy Kimmel on TV and he's being paid for what he says, but he's lying and trying to re-engineer the narrative of the truth. And you get fired. That's kind of how it goes. He's still allowed to talk or make his jokes or whatever he does. He can go out in the street and tell his neighbors all the jokes, see if they like it. He can go to comedy clubs where they aren't going to censor him if they know what he's going to say and they have no problem supporting it. But the TV thing, they're paying for they get paid by advertisers. They get paid by people paying to have it come into their homes. And when you start, and I want to say when you start telling lies. But that's been going on for so long that it's hard to say that he was the first, because he damn sure wasn't. But I don't want the government to take away free speech. I don't want you to be arrested and thrown in prison when you're just a pathological liar. Like, that's just who you are. It's not, most of us aren't going to listen to you either way. But if you're a pathological liar, then find something that suits you. You need to reevaluate your own life. And anyways, I saw something about they want to start cracking down on hate speech. The government does. We've been through this. We went through this with Joe Biden, the Ministry of Truth. Where the government has no ability to do that. That's what the First Amendment is it protects everybody from being controlled by the government on this. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, Jimmy Kimmel got fired because the government intervened. Well, that's not true. The FCC is not exactly the government. It is in protection of the American people. But the news and everything, if it's public, it's supposed to have unbiased information. Have you ever seen anything that's unbiased on any news channel ever? I don't think so. It just doesn't exist this day and age. It's all a narrative. It's all bought and sold, and it's all been programmed to come after us and propagandize us, turn us against each other, because divided we fall. And that is as a country. So, anyways, I hate seeing that everybody's all worked up about free speech and cancel culture. And as a conservative, this is not cancel culture. This is you being excused from civil society. That's on you. That's not on. And some of us have gone through and helped you to be excused from civil society, but that's not cancel culture. Cancel culture is when you say something, like you didn't like the vaccine, or you felt like the election was manipulated or something like that, and then you get deplatformed and you're no longer allowed to have social media and you can't say a word because private companies like the airwaves decide to take you off because they don't like what you're saying. Now that's different. When the government does it and they start putting you in prison because of what you say, that is the loss of free speech. Look at China. China doesn't have free speech. They're not allowed to say anything against their president, their supreme leader, whatever he is. If you do, you end up in concentration camps that are mass harvesting organs and such. So that is communism as well. So if you're a bona fide communist or socialist, no offense, but you're fighting the wrong fight. You're in the wrong country. You need to go to one of these countries. You need to live through the joy of communism. You need to live through the joy of socialism before you start pushing it on people in America who are capitalists, who want to run a business, who want to have a family, who want to have a nice house, who want to do nice things, who want to help the world out. That is the American dream, is to be better. We don't want to be communists. We don't want to be socialists. For me, if I could move further away from the city, I would. Just because the cities seem to be infected. And it's a dis-ease. Nobody's okay with anything anymore. And then we all blame. It's like, point the finger, you did this. Yeah, whatever. You guys need to take a little accountability for your own actions, because free speech is still free. And you don't get paid for it, but you do get to stay out of prison when you use your voice. That's free speech. That's what it's all about.